Hello, 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 and welcome back to Project Cars Drivers Club. It is season 5 now, and we are switching things up a bit with the Indy cars here at Watkins Glen International. We are going for that high downforce open wheel action this season, and seems our drivers are digging the change in discipline. We've had some really competitive times so far in qualifying. Just a couple minutes left to qualify in here, and then we'll get into the race session. We're having 2 races, 30 minutes race, and then a 45-minute race. So we got a double header for you. There we go. Got my standings set up. We got nothing on the board for points, so not much to talk about there, but so far we got Jim Boom leading the qualifying with a 120.8. FX47 just recently hopped up into the P2 position. He was P4 for a while, but he hopped up into P2 with a 121.3. And that pushed Flickin' Flackin' down into 3rd with a 121.4. Bill Kerman got pushed off the podium start for the race. He is currently running 121.5, and Echo pretty close behind with a 121.9. So as you can see, our top 5 are pretty close in contention. And then 6 through 11 are all pretty well on pace too, so we'll have some good battles up at the front, good battles in the midfield, and it's looking like it's going to be an interesting race. I know a couple seasons ago we had Formula Renault that I raced in, and it's a pretty good time, but it's interesting to see how competitive our guys get when we have a open wheeler in the main season here. I'm not sure how it's going to work. Should be a little less chaotic maybe than our multi-class at least. We'll see. When you have a single class, there tends to be a lot more wheel-to-wheel racing. Oh, Bill Kerman with a big off. He just puts it right into the wall and right back into the pit box. As usual, I'm your host, commentator, Dustin the Destroyer. I will be joined by How Good Am I at some point.
Hello.
There he is.
I'm here.
So Jack, let's go over the format quick. We got a 30-minute race and a 45-minute race, correct?
That sounds about right to me.
Are we gonna see any tire changes or fuel pit stops during this?
You know what? That's a question for someone who knows.
Yeah, and that's that ain't me.
It's not me either.
I drove the Indy cars for about an hour just to get a feel for what they're like, but haven't really done the homework as to what the grand strategy is.
I'm afraid the only homework I've done this weekend is on whether football will be coming home or not.
It's very important work, that.
So I've heard murmurs in the chat that with the accelerated tyre wear that we're using, we are going to be seeing quite intense tyre wear for the drivers, but I don't know. I haven't experienced that firsthand.
Okay, so going for a half hour, at least 45 minutes straight might be enough for a tire stop at least, huh?
Yeah, I think we'll see today, won't we? See what they do.
Yeah, never really know what to expect in our first races of the season, because we usually get pretty brave with our car and track choices for new seasons, try to keep things interesting, so never really know what to expect.
Yes, indeed. So I guess just as a quick introduction, we're running Watkins Glen today, 2 p.m. Heavy cloud is the weather forecast. In terms of lobby settings, we've got IndyCar. We've just finished a 20-minute qualifying. As Dustin mentioned, we're running 2 races, 30 and 45 minutes, with a real date, 2 times time progression. We're doing manual formation lap rolling starts. That's about it. Most of the stuff's our normal settings. One change from previous seasons is we are running performance impact and damage this time around with the open wheelers. We didn't want people's races ending because of wheel loss.
Which is sure to happen if you don't take that damage down. There's just too much that can fall off of your car with these Indy cars.
Yes, indeed. Right, so I believe everyone now will be filtering out of the lobby to join the dedicated server.
I'm gonna make sure I get in there and they don't start without me.
Same here. I want to be on his broadcast so that I don't have to click buttons.
That's good. I got it. I can take care of it. It's been 3 weeks off, but pretty sure I can still click buttons with the best of them. I don't see the steady. Where are you? There it is.
It looks like it's still empty. I don't know which order we join in.
I don't think our order affects the starting grid, but I also don't know if I want to be first in.
No one wants to be first in.
Depends on the situation. Generally, generally not. But
where are you going there?
Nowhere. I was just saying, you know. Who knows? We'll just leave that up to the imagination.
All right, there's someone in there now. Is that you?
No, I tried.
I'm gonna go in as sloppy number 2.
There we go. I'm in. Make sure Mason gives me that race director.
Oh, I'm number 3.
Already. Haha, too slow.
I know you were already in there.
Alright, so yeah, we got this going about the same as we did last season. We have the Dedi set up just for the race and for practice. Qualifying we do on the peer-to-peer. Then we file in correct order on the Dedi so that we don't have to do an extra formation lap to have everybody slot into the correct places. So if they just join anybody use a dedicated server for leagues and wants to have that, it sets your grid placement off the bat. If you don't have a qualifying session, sets it in the order that you enter the server. So that's how we do that, and gives us a little bit of downtime, but generally less than if we were all slotting in for position on the first lap. Is that Polly in the chat? Hello. Welcome.
Paulie.
Is that our Polly?
I've posted this up on Reddit, so if we've got any people clicking through from Reddit, do let us know.
Happy birthday, Polly. I've told Polly happy birthday probably 6 times already today, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
We can do one more, and in front of the 9 viewers.
Yep, it's a celebration. I made a point this morning because Polly was like thanking everybody that told him happy birthday, so I made sure to keep telling him happy birthday just to see how long his patience would last with thanking everybody.
You're a good friend.
Yeah, I mean, it was in earnest, but also slightly in jest because I wanted to test Polly's patience. That's the kind of friend I am. So how many drivers? Excuse me. How many drivers are we waiting on here? We got.
I think we had about 16. But
all right.
Be wrong.
So got just about half our racers in position, and we will be starting with the first race of the doubleheader shortly. So bear with us on that. Animair is here as well. Welcome, boys.
Welcome. Are you using something for corner names, Dustin?
Just making them up. No, I got the map up for the corners, and most of them are numbered. But there are some fun ones here at Watkins Glen International layout. We get to make full use of the chute, the boot, the loop,
the heel, and the toe. Which map are you using? We need to be on the same page here.
Just the
professional and prepared for this.
Yes, of course. It's called. Just Google it. It's the first one that pops up. The Wikipedia one. Oh, we got the S's and the 90 on the one you sent me.
Yeah, the Wikipedia one's terrible. We can't just say, and there they're going around 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, yours doesn't have the numbers, so mine has the actual quarter numbers, and I think I can remember the S's and the 90. Those are pretty iconic corners.
If you say so.
I'm pretty sure. Touring bars in the server saying, "Bill, admit it, you put ballast on my livery." Touring bar is he's our previous champion, wasn't he? So he's got the
yes, he is.
He's got the special boy livery out there today. Since there's only 2 models of car racing, we don't get all the fun custom liveries, but we do get one special boy livery for previous season's champion.
So I just did a bit of Googling about IndyCar and Watkins Glen in particular, and it turns out that they're not running it this year.
Oh, really?
So, if you want to see IndyCar, you want to see Watkins Glen, I'm afraid this might just be the only place you're going to get it.
This is the only place, yeah. This is exclusive for this season.
Exclusive, yes.
Sure, we've got some other circuits on the docket that they won't be running either.
Well,
like I don't think they'll be going to Imola for Indy this year, but we will.
They don't have the budget we have. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. We live in large. We can do whatever we want. It's great. Yeah, Project Cars is like having more money than you could know what to do with. You can drive Ferraris in the snow or whatever. We got 16 in the lobby, so it'll be just a couple more filing in here, and then we will be underway with a formation lap, and then a rolling start, and 30 minutes of racing for this first race.
How are we reversing the grid, Dustin, for the second race?
It sounds like not my problem.
Sounds like you should ask someone who knows. I'll tell you what we're doing. We're reversing the top 8. So the top 8 finishers from the first race will be in reverse order for the second race.
That makes sense. Sounds like it'll work. Oh, we got Tone Low making a return. I think we got a couple new guys, or new-ish guys. This 888 feller. Tone Low's returning from last season. Bunch of our filthy regulars in here. Is FX47? Is that Felix? He's raced with us, right?
I think it's Felix, yes.
But a lot of really seasoned challengers in the field.
It's nice to see a good variety of liveries on the grid.
Yeah.
We are doing a reservation system this season for the liveries, so as time goes on, you should be spotting the same guys in the same cars, which is always handy.
Yes, makes it easy for me and the viewers, and we also have teams. Didn't really mention that before since there's no points on the board, but Rubix and Bill Kerman are together in a team in team I think they picked a weird name just to give me a hard time. Chuchisti. Felix and Husky are in Confused Flag Motorsports. MDK and Geodimus in Velocity Racing. Domi and 888 are team Fernando Alonso. So those will be the dynamic duos out there to keep an eye out for. They'll be running the same livery. We'll see what they get up to. Oh, Rubix is in the chat as well. Hello. Should be on the grid, but here he is in chat. Welcome. All right, clock's ticking. Guys are getting their last setups and pit strategies prepared, and we'll be off on a formation lap. Mason probably shouldn't be up at the front of the grid there. Jim Boom will be on the pole position. Felix here in the Greg. How are you supposed to pronounce that sponsor? HH Greg. Greg.
I tell you how you pronounce that sponsor. It's Pinty's.
Pinty's. Pinty's Pharma is on there.
Pinty's IndyCar Grand Slam.
Flick and Flocken is in third place there in that Snapple yellow blue livery. How drunk are the commentators today? Not enough, but just in the realm of acceptability. Bill Kerman, fourth place start. Got pushed off the grid, off the podium by FX47 Felix there.
He must need a patch or something.
I'm interested to see how this start goes. It will be a formation lap rather than a standing start, I believe, here. Yeah.
Now that Renault Elf livery is nice.
There's our Special Boy Touring Bar, previous season's champion with the Renault Elf livery. That is a nice livery. Camel. I don't smoke them, but they're alright. In the Project Cars Drivers Club at Nose Cone.
Oh, that's a nice nose cone.
Oh, beautiful, yeah. Touring Bar going for the overtake on the formation lap here. Is that a new method of warming the tires? Instead of side to side, you go back to front and you brake and you go and you brake and you go.
In out, shake it all about. We've just passed the inner loop and now we're getting onto the outer loop. Into shoot.
Shoot to the boot. It's called that because it's shaped like Italy.
Oh man. I'm hoping on a cheeky mojito being brought upstairs at some point in the near future. We'll see.
Are people driving the soft tires? I don't know. I've got no idea.
Sounds like a question for someone that knows.
Yes. Soft tires are the red ones. Yep, there they are.
No. Dustin, what have you done there with the video description? It's all out of date.
Is it?
I'm gonna edit it.
Oh.
On it.
I think I was editing the title and such, and I went down to the video description, and I got distracted. so nothing happened. And they're coming up on the start-finish straight here, and we should be off in just a moment. I'm gonna hop on board with Bill Kerman here for the start. And there they go into the dangerous turn 1. Very, very important turn to nail, coming loose a little bit there. And already we've got some big pushes going on. Echo sneaks up into 4th place right off the bat. And he's got such momentum. Oh, almost was able to snag a cheeky 3rd there. Oh no!
That's going to be carnage for the grid coming through.
Yeah, that's flicking off around the bus stop there, and a massively devastating spin for this early in the race. Jim Boom relatively uncontested in the lead here still. He's pulled about 3 seconds away from FX47 here.
It's looking good there. So just seeing in chat, Dustin, apparently if they're running soft tyres, they've got a red stripe on the outer wall and inner wall.
Yep. Yeah, that is the nice thing. I totally forgot. I don't watch open wheel racing very much, so that kind of went over my head originally, but yeah, it is nice we can just look at what tires they're running. And it looks like the front runners are running these soft tires. Still not sure if they're gonna replace them. I mean, they might. Watkins Glen is a pretty warm place, so might be running these softs pretty ragged over the course of a half an hour. Alright, well, it looks like our front runners are pretty settled in. We'll catch up with Sjerd. Kerman has a big off. Sjerd able to just sneak right by while Kerman rejoins. And what else is going on back here? I can't see. The camera is zoomed in so far. I can see our driver's facial hair, but not what's actually going on. Not trying to count the pores of the pilots here. Wanna see the actual racing, please. It's hard to get good help for the cameramen these days, you know? Oh, who is that? Is there back markers that they're catching up on already? We got Bill Kerman battling with Sjerd here. Turamar looks to be in the pack with well, just about everybody from about 6th to 10th place is right here.
Oh, dear.
Uh-oh. That's a dangerous spot. There's the contact. Big time contact. Not sure who the green car was. Was that MDK? Is he missing parts? There's supposed to be a front wing there.
There might just be.
I do believe that car's supposed to have...
We've lost Turambar. It looks like that was a disconnect from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Just right on the apex. That is unfortunate. I think we've got another retirement as well. Oh, no, maybe just pit stops for Watkins in for repairs after that first lap spin.
So what's going to be really interesting here is, you know, now we've got 2 shorter format races. In this first race in particular, you know, if you're in P9, you're really going to want to push on for P8 because it's just going to switch you straight up to P1 start for the next race, which is a huge advantage.
Yeah, that is going to be absolutely massive. So, but
it's going to be a battle to watch at the end.
Yeah, it makes makes it good to watch, and it's good for our drivers in terms of strategy then. And you know, our field seems equipped to really get competitive on the tail end of that middle pack. Phosphorus trying to make his way around Miffy as they move into the boot here. Oh, he's posturing around the outside a bit. He's definitely trying to make a move here at some point. Is there a lot of... Oh boy, just barely got the overlap there before the turn.
It's not sealed yet.
Oh no. Oh, a little bit of contact with the wall. Not sure if that was a little bit of leg or if he's going to be feeling that one. As they move on to the start-finish straight here, try to get as much speed through there as he can, and you can just rocket along the start-finish. There we go. Phosphorus slots in front of Miffy for turn 1.
Miffy seems to be sliding around a bit.
Yeah, he seems squirrely. I thought it was a little touch of leg earlier, but it just seems like his car's kind of jumping and sliding a little bit. Oh, what's going on here? I see Echo and... Echo and Seared having some offs, and
that's a retirement from Echo.
Yep, Sam also retired at some point here. Unfortunate. And that's even with just performance impacting damage, we are seeing some carnage out there once they get put into a wall or into another car.
Yeah, I think the key thing here is, you know, you pick up a relatively small amount of damage or, you know, relatively light knock, and you're probably going to have to visit the pits because the suspension's easy to bend.
Yeah, suspension's easy to bend. The aero on these cars is so important, even more so than any touring cars or GT. The aero really is your lifeline in these open wheelers.
I think the key thing for the drivers is, though, you know, stick with it, because other people are going to have bad luck too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it looks like P10 and below have all had significant issues already. Based on the gaps.
Yeah, it looks like it. Had a lot of people ducking into the pits already. So Jim Boom still holding on to that pole position. He's got nearly a 10-second gap now, just 12 minutes into the race. We'll go on with him for a lap. So here we go through the S's, a little bit of Watkins Glen's own little Eau Rouge type of deal there. It's probably a lot easier in these Indy cars than it is in lower downforce cars. It's extremely risky in touring cars or GT cars. Through the bus stop here. Through this grip checking outer loop here. We go through the chute into the boot where we got these really, really important mid-speed turns. Well, really every corner on Watkins Glen is really, really important to hit just right. They're all very unique, and there's no superfluous turns. There's no just little tiny kinks on Watkins Glen. It's all very, very important turns that you have to pay attention for.
Yeah, and it's typically flat out for a little while straight after them, which, you know, into poor exit's going to hurt you for seconds.
Yeah.
Nice lap from Jim there, extended his lead.
There we go. We got a little bit of drama going on back here, maybe. Tonlo trying to catch up to Miffy and going a little bit deep there, just narrowly avoiding the sandbox there. Let's see, Phosphorus and Sjord are getting pretty close up here. Oh, losing it a little bit on turn 1. There's just like you can't even see it, I don't think, but there's a slight little bump on the inside where there's a little bump and a little minute camber change that can really throw you off. You definitely don't want to hit the inside curb very deep because that thing is a monster. This one is the left side tire chewer, that outer loop. You are absolutely pushing as much lateral grip as you can through there. It's very, even with the international layout, it's a very left-hand heavy circuit, mostly because of that corner, I think. It just grinds through tires. But it's very challenging in its own right. I wouldn't do without it.
Well, as I say, IndyCar did, but they don't know what they're missing.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, that's what we talked about before for this 2018 season.
Oh, yeah, they're skipping Watkins Glen entirely, not just that corner. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Miffy's just looking like he's inching closer and closer to Geodimus here up in front. Phosphorus also getting close to Sjord up here. Got a pretty good run of it on the back straight. Probably not enough to get it done by the bus stop. Let's get back on with Miffy. He's got the momentum to get around him. Geodimus slots in right before the bus stop here. Still getting pings for Phosphorus up in here. Jim Boom in the pits.
Something everywhere.
Yep, that was Miffy spinning there after that big push. Jim Boom is in the pits. I think probably maybe our first scheduled pit stop here. We're 15 minutes into the race. Oh, Phosphorus just sneaking along the inside of Sjord. Still side by side.
Think he's clear.
Yep,
Yeah.
just barely.
Phosphorus is a lightning fast driver.
Yeah, Phosphorus joined us a season or two ago, and I don't think they've been in every race we've done, but he's had some really strong performances. I've raced him on his first race, and is definitely got a run for my money on that one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he joined us. His first race with us was the LMP2 GTE endurance race at Le Mans.
Oh yeah, I think you're maybe spot on with that.
I'm still salty about that because he beat me.
Yeah.
He turned up on the day and he beat me. If I remember rightly, it was relatively close towards the end.
That's right. Yeah. I think he raced the Friday night racing and then hopped right into the Le Mans race.
He did, and just took it from me. Not even the win, but whatever position it was, he took that from me.
Took your candy from you. Called you a dum-dum. So, Jim Boom out of the pits now in third place. Kerman up into second, and Felix in first place.
Good evening, Simple Geek.
Oh, Simple Geek. I haven't seen you in a bit. Welcome back. Animir in the chat mentions Phosphorus races Can-Am, where he's very fast. I'm sure he seems to be very fast wherever he's at. And yeah, we got a couple of Can-Am racers with us. Big off for Felix. That's a easy deal done for Kerman for the time being.
So we're...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we're just over half distance into the race now. And yeah, I mean, I guess these stuffs, are they going to last? Doesn't seem like anyone has intentions to change them.
I don't know. I assumed that Jim Boom's pit stop was for tires, but I don't know if he picked up some damage and went in or what, but it doesn't seem, you know, we're past the halfway mark, so that would probably have been the ideal spot for a tire change.
And we'll have to see how all this plays out. Gio's in now. Oh, and Felix.
Alright.
Looks like it's all changed now.
Yeah. So Sierra now hopping up onto the podium for the time being.
The hards must really offer no advantage then if all the drivers are choosing the softs, because it's amazing to think that a pit stop can be offset in 10 minutes of racing.
Yeah, honestly, I've been clicking through everybody trying to keep note of it, and it seems everybody has been on the sauce.
Hards must be undrivable, or they don't last any longer anyway.
Yeah. Perhaps. Oops. Sorry, Jaxa.
So this is the first time we're streaming a format with 2 races back to back.
Yeah.
Are you intending to conduct interviews in between? Maybe quick ones?
I don't know. I don't know how much downtime there is between races. I don't know how much preparation the drivers are gonna have to do. I'm not sure how this is gonna work actually.
Just have to see how it goes.
Is the Deddy set up to just go straight into another race, or?
That sounds like a question for someone that knows.
That's true, and we may be commentating, but we're not officiating, so we just talk about it. We don't have to actually know how everything works. Wow, that was a lot of broken pieces of car just then. Did you see that?
I missed it. Oh, I feel sad.
There was a lot of busted car pieces. I'm not sure who that was, but they've barely just got a cockpit left. Yeah, even with the reduced damage, it has certainly been a shrapnel factory out here on the Glen.
Sponsored by Zippo. And Hitachi.
So Jim Boom now pushing hard after his pit stop. He ran a 124.6 in his last lap. Bill Kerman, the leader, ran a 127.9. How did he do a 124? That's like 3 seconds faster than anybody last lap.
It's ungodly. But yeah, I don't know.
That's ridiculous, actually. Like a second faster than the entire field is something, but 3 seconds faster is ridiculous. That maybe that pit stop's paying off for him. Maybe it's one of those deals where you can stay on the softs, but at the expense of some time.
Look at that gap though to Bill. It's just sinking.
Yeah.
No, it's stretching. Ignore me. It must be like a bug.
Well, yeah, you know how live deltas are. Rubik's mentioned the possibility, I hadn't really thought of this, but Rubik's mentioned the possibility of it's a bug where it looks like everyone has softs. And I hadn't thought of that, but there's always the possibility of a bug that,
No, not on Project Cars.
Yeah.
It's a Premier game. You won't have seen my message from earlier, will you, Justin? So Steam leaked some data that appears to indicate game sales, basically,
Yeah.
for Steam games, and it seems to count if someone's played the game at least once. It won't count if you bought it and never played it. Project Cars 1 was hovering around 1 million on Steam, and Project Cars 2 was hovering around 300,000.
Oh, really?
So I'm just saying that's what not patching bugs gives you.
I don't know. Project Cars 1 had a lot of bugs. Project Cars 2's got a lot of bugs. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but 700,000 people from Project Cars 1 thought, "Oh, screw this, I'm not buying another."
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if we want to get into the marketing of sim racing, I think when Project Cars entered the scene, it didn't have a name for itself. It had kind of carte blanche, so a lot of people gave it a chance, and I think a lot of people gave Project Cars 1 a chance and didn't give Project Cars 2 a chance because of Project Cars 1.
Yeah. It's actually a shame because Project Cars 2 is a much better game than
Project Cars 2 was better on release than Project Cars 1 was on the end of its dev cycle, so it is a shame, but that's you only get one chance to make a first impression, especially with how frugal sim racers can be. Concerning their favored sims, at least. I wouldn't say we're frugal over buying gear and whatnot, but yeah.
My favourite stat was that Euro Truck Simulator 2 had about 6 million players.
Well, that's one of the greatest games ever made. If you had to make me pick between Project Cars and Truck Simulator, I would have to think about it. God, it's just so comfy. Have you played Truck Sim?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Good.
Big star.
It's so good. Have you played American Truck Sim with those nice wide roads?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it.
Oh, yes, my guy.
Have you been over the jumps on American Truck Sim?
No, I haven't.
There's a section of road in Nevada that's like rolling hills, and if you do 100 mile an hour down it, the truck jumps.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to hit that up.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
So, oh man, Bill Kerman is going to be upset with me. I missed Jim Boom, getting his lead back from Bill here, because we were talking about Truck Simulator and
important things.
Sim racing in general. Now I've got Jack to partially blame though.
Oh, it's nothing to do with me.
It's something. It's something. Guy's waving a green flag back there. It's important. He's doing his job. Okay, just about 3 minutes left here. 2, maybe 3 laps.
Viewer Tim says, "What's your favourite car in Project Cars 2?"
Excellent question, Tim. I'm gonna have to go with the Ford GTE. I think is my favorite to race, but my favorite to cruise around, the BMW 2000 or whatever it is, that old 70s or 80s BMW is amazing.
You gave a serious answer. I'm just thinking through. I mean, other than the Indy car, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to The Porsche 911 DLC car, the old one. That thing drives really nice.
That one is quite fun.
It's just loose enough to chuck around and have a bit of fun with. And Rubix has just profoundly said in chat that Project Cars Drivers Club's opinion is wrong.
Yes, I see Rubik's saying American Truck Simulator is shit. Perhaps you haven't actually driven one of the trucks with their massive engines and the nice wide roads where you barely have to turn at all. I don't know if you've ever been to America, but all our roads are just straight and wide. It's comfy. You can just go forever. Euro Truck Simulator is it's like driving a Hummer on a go-kart track. It's just those little European roads are just too much.
So it's looking to shape up for a simple finish to the race. There's decent gaps between everyone.
Yeah, and Jim Boom just embarked on what should be the final lap here. Just enough time to finish this lap, I think. So I don't think anybody's going to be able to make any moves there. Jim Boom, I believe on fresh tires, was able to have a pit stop and claw his way back into the lead with these massive tires. Oh, Bill Kerman did a 122 on the last lap, though.
Bill's going fast. 34 seconds to close is a lot to ask there.
Yes, it is. I'm not sure. I've seen Bill do some superhuman things, but I think that is outside of the realm of him.
There must be a little bit of pressure on MDK right now. Gio's 10 seconds behind him, but, you know, one spin. That could be P8 lost, which is P1 lost in the next race.
Sierra's gonna cross the line in the pits, maybe?
Okay, I wonder if that's fuel, 1.7 litres maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to do that, though.
I don't know. That is interesting to note, though, that you can run out of fuel in a race that is a half hour long. I guess we'll see in the 45 minutes. They probably will definitely have a fuel stop. Unless, of course, these guys just calculated a set amount for a half hour, I guess is possible. But that is Jim Boom with a victory in the first race of the night here.
Congratulations to Jim and everyone that finished the race. It was a tough vehicle, so.
And should be Phosphorus getting up into third place from pretty far back in the field. Managed to catapult himself onto the podium. So now we will move on to the next race, where we'll be reversing the top 8, I believe, of the grid. Yeah,
that's my understanding.
So MDK down there will be in first place, and 888 will be in second start, and Miffy third, and Geotimus and Jaxa are. Oh, they're not going to be in the back, though, because the retirees will probably be back for the second race then. So we'll just see how that goes. Been converting to iRacing, and you have the gall to call us the heathens. Oh, Paul Davies. We're going to have to talk after the stream, my friend. Jim Boom racked up a 3-second penalty, but still manages to walk away with the win there.
There's no wonder Paul didn't notice the new season was starting. He was probably scratching around behind his sofa trying to find money for another month's rent. Or possibly like a wheel for a car. Got to save up on that game.
Yep. Does iRacing still have the fast cold tire outlaps bug going on? Or did they finally fix that?
Got no idea.
The Swiss first and second. Is Jim Boom Swiss? I think he's French. I think that's a glitch.
Is he French?
I don't know. Maybe he's Swiss. I thought he was French. Maybe. I'm just used to
What's
seeing glitched flags in general, so I can barely tell.
what's the flag for P4?
P4 is I think that's a African country. I think that's Somalia or something like that.
Oh, and everyone's
Uh,
leaving.
okay. All right. Are we? Does it have to do this to? Well, the race is on. Oh, are
So
they re-entering the lobby in order then?
I think that's what they'll do.
All right. Well,
So I think 888 and Tonlo 449 will need to leave.
and we're staying.
Yeah.
We're the bosses. Just kidding.
Don't tell us what to do.
We're just gonna linger. We're gonna loiter. All right. Well, that was race 1. We got a 45-minute race for race 2. I kind of like how we've done that. It keeps you from getting too comfortable with little sprint races. You know, you can't have the same strategy for both.
Yeah, it's a nice change. Well, it's a nice change from one long race, which has always been the format for our main league sessions. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially with last season, we've been going more and more towards real length, like endurance racing with an hour and a half main league races all in one go. And, you know, I don't think we had any complaints about the race length from our drivers last season. I think that was pretty popular, but
yeah, I think it suited the format we were running. So we got those kind of closed wheel GT type cars typically, or LMP, and I think the longer formats suit those. They're a little bit easier to drive, a little bit lower stress, but
yeah.
they tend to come in their own over a longer duration, don't they?
Yeah, and these open wheels, you know, in online racing, it would be iffy to keep these things running for an hour and a half. I'm glad we're switching it up. It's definitely a drastic change from our multi-class sort of endurance series last season. Oh, Animera in chat says these guys also probably saved their push to passes for the end, hence the 122 and 124 laps. Is that how Indies work? They got like 10 push to passes for a race?
I guess something like that. It sounds like Animera is someone that knows.
It does seem Animera should be in here, as Animera is someone that knows, and we are simply ones who speak.
Euro Truck Simulator.
We speak about other games. Oh, man.
Rubik's wants to know if Jim's Swiss or not.
I'm not gonna pull him in here just for that. He'll have to. I'll have an interview with him later on though, since he's won a race. We'll definitely want to see what the mindset is for a winner here, and I'll ask him if he's Swiss or not. So put your bets in. We got 45 minutes. Put your bets in on on the nationality of Jim Boom. I'm saying French. I'm sticking with that. Wherever they make fast people, that seems to be where he's from.
Finland.
They do make fast people in Finland in rally racing. Then you got Kimi. Lots of fast people in Finland. It's like they don't have anything better to do up there than drive cars really fast. If there's any Finnish viewers, feel free to correct me on that. But that seems to be the lifestyle.
Yeah, correct that anecdote with your anecdote.
Yeah. Rubik says I'll have to drive in a few minutes again, so I'll never know if he's Swiss or not. I'm pretty sure I can let you know later on if that's the case. You know.
I've just asked Jim in text chat.
And I think he's French. So I'll move to the lobby. We got the chat going in the lobby. SF for Swiss. I am? Is that it? He must be responding to you then, since you originally posed the question.
No, you can't do that.
You can't Swiss French.
What does that even mean?
Pick one, Jim. You can't just do that. So we're both right, but I'm not satisfied with that. Making Jim choose his nationality. Oh man, it's good stuff. We got 16 in the lobby. I think we're just waiting on a couple more guys. Swedish. All right.
I heard Finland.
Well, you heard it here first. He's Finnish, Swedish, Swiss, and French.
Oh, that's good to know. It's winter on the other side of the world.
Weird. It's summer
From the
here.
YouTube chat.
How's that work?
The wrong side of the world. That's why.
You guys are doing it wrong over there. It's supposed to be warm. It's summer. Rubik's is getting a little bossy over there in chat. We don't take orders from you, YouTube chat. Know your place.
Slap him down.
We take questions. We take discussion topics of stuff we should get distracted talking about.
Oh, we have a comment on Reddit.
Ooh.
r/simracing. Looks so fake to me.
Wow.
Surprised this is PCARS 2. From Smelly Norman.
Yeah, he sounds like a smelly Norman to me.
I've given him an upvote. Because everyone gets an upvote from me. Just for interacting.
Oh, that's sleazy, Jack. I'd just be passing out upvotes. It inflates their value. I don't hate the chat, Rubik's, and I don't hate you. But I also don't take orders from you. I'm sorry.
Paul's stirring stuff up about nationalities.
Bill Kerman is from the Dutch Lesser Antilles. I don't even know what an Antilles is.
Right, well, I think we've managed to fill that gap between the races pretty well there with random conversation.
It certainly got filled.
Maybe, we've got it out of our system. We'll be able to actually talk about this race.
Doubt it. So, Mason, the host of the lobby, the moderator on duty, should be moving back to a regular position here. I believe MDK will be leading us off as he finished in 8th place. 888 in the Doom livery. That's sick.
What?
That is wicked sick.
Brought to you by Amazon Prime Now.
Bethesda, PlayStation, Doom. That's the sickest thing I've seen in my life.
I'll be honest, it looks like the person kind of fell over as they were sticking that vinyl on the car there. Look at it. It's all... What is that? It's terrible.
That's Doom, man. It just looks like that. All right. So Miffy is going to be rounding out the top 3.
Pennzoil.
Reverse. Pennzoil is not paying us. Let's move along swiftly. We're
Lucas Oil.
Pinty's. Nope, we're Pinty's only around here. Sure, and don't even mention Falcon Tires. We've had such a falling out with them. Sierra, Tonlo, Phosphorus, Kerman, and then Jim Boom will be in 9th place for this race. So definitely going to be a bit of a shake-up here in the second race. And I believe we'll keep the format of a formation lap. Dustin is from Canada. I am from the United States, well, the northern United States, Minnesota, so I'm...
So the northern United States is Canada, mate?
No, no, there's different countries. But Minnesota is basically like Canada light. It's like a mixture of US and Canada, pretty much.
So after today's race, I'm pleased to inform you that the Grand Slam of Curling will be starting.
I'm gonna watch that.
Sponsored by Pinty's.
Pinty's. If we unironically get sponsored by Pinty's someday, just for shouting them out constantly, I'll be so happy.
That would be, well, it seems like they do sponsor things at random.
Yeah. They've got NASCAR, they've got curling, they've got sim racing now.
Oh, and I've just been handed a beautiful mojito.
Oh,
This is the
lucky.
life.
Lucky. Well, if that's how we're doing things, I'm gonna get a beer.
Oh, and sounds like we've lost a commentator. This mojito is nice.
What is a Pinty's, Anamara asks. That's the age-old question that has plagued
yeah,
mankind.
That sounds like someone who left us long ago.
Pinty's is a way of life. Pinty's is a nurturer, a life giver.
And when it's not being a way of life, it's the best fried chicken in Canada.
Absolutely. Absolutely best frozen nuggets of meat in Canada.
The northernmost state of America.
Go on the Vision Quest to your grocer's frozen section. Well, maybe they don't have them where you're from. We're a pretty multinational group. Go to Canada on your Vision Quest. Find the place where it gets cold. Find the box that says Pinty's. Throw that mystery meat in the microwave. And enjoy. It's like the face of God in your mouth. So now we'll get to see what 888 is really made of here in the front. Not sure if he's raced with us ever before this race, or this season.
He has.
So they're just about to cross the start-finish line, and we will be off and racing. MDK is going to lead us off here.
Turn 1 has been cleared without drama. Up through the S's, and again everything's looking okay across the field.
Whoa! That was something.
Alternate line through the bus stop for somebody.
I think that was... No, I don't know who that was.
Heading through the chute though, everything's looking clean. I can't see any.
Oh no! Oh no! Who was that?
Suffering across the bridge.
Yeah, it's getting wild. What? I just saw a grass texture right up in my face.
Is that 888?
I believe so. I think.
Gonna hold on to that place. P4.
Oh,
Edge that.
oh no, the whole train goes through. He got the... He left the door open and a whole gang of people went through.
There was a drift in the final turn there. It looked like it ended in a spin and the car's still stationary up there.
There's just so much going on in the first couple of laps with these high downforce cars. Everybody is very competitive and confident on the first couple of laps here. It's not to mention people going off and causing a ruckus. Little bit chaotic.
14 cars. Was it 14 that started? Did you?
I didn't count.
Right, we'll just pretend it was 14.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Bill Kerman hopping up into 4th place. I think Miffy's just gonna have to slot in behind him there for now. Check in real quick with Sjord. In the battle for 2nd place, Tone Low ahead of him in the red car. Oh, touching that grass a little bit. It's a very dangerous move, but you definitely want to make that apex as sort of, well, you want to make that turn sort of as wide as you can to make the most of that exit. So we got Flickin', Miffy, and Kerman up here in a little bit of a gang, and uh-oh, this looks like some drama. Sjord, MDK, and Tone Low in no particular order up here. Well, MDK in the front there, Tone Low in the red car there, and Sjord behind. The top 3 are all just right here. Or maybe that was a back marker.
Yeah.
That was a back marker.
That was still tense.
It was.
Looks like we've got more cars looking to make their way past there soon. There's one just behind him. Yeah, where the back marker is.
Yep.
I think that'll be Phosphorus. Which is strange, because something's obviously gone wrong for him.
So our actual leader car up here in green and what would you say that is? Bronze? Green and bronze? MDK?
Gold?
Gold? I don't know if I'd call it gold. Anyway.
Dark gold.
Dark gold, which sounds a lot like bronze to me, but MDK's managed a 5-second lead ahead of everybody since he didn't have to battle, didn't have to get caught up in anybody else's bad luck. He's managed to pull away from the pack pretty well.
It's a real shame they didn't implement the position numbers on the side of the cars. That would have been excellent.
That would be neat.
Glitch in the matrix there for Bill.
So now this is going to be the real triple battle here for 2nd and 3rd. That's Sjord up at the front, Tone Low here in front, still in the red car. He hasn't swapped cars since we last seen him. Bill getting a good run onto the final corner, couldn't quite capitalize on it. Oh, but he's got the guts on the start-finish straight here on the inside of turn 1. That's where you want to be. It looks like he's got that done and dusted. Somebody taking... It was Bill taking an alternative line there through the bus stop. Not sure if he's gonna get a little penalty for that or what. That was definitely not ideal for him. Good for Tonlo, though. He may have a shot to get his position back. 35 minutes left of this race. Jim Boom up to 8. He fell down the order a little bit. Started at 8. Came back to 8 now. And he's got his work cut out for him. Oh, that's Kerman getting around MDK in turn 1. Kerman up into second now. Sjord leading the race. Not sure how MDK fell down here. Missed Sjord taking the lead. Apologies to Sjord. I am 3 weeks out of practicing on this commentating stuff. Gonna have to bear with me. But good on you, Sjord. He's got the lead for now. Kerman up in second. Tonlo still pushing hard. Still trying to make some big moves. MDK going really wide through the chute.
Looks like he just managed to avoid contact there.
Yeah, that was so close. And I think we've got... Flickenflocken has joined the battle just about. Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this. Tonlo nearly getting some overlap with MDK there. He's got a little bit of an undercut, not quite enough to make use of. Paul in chat said Jim was going a lot quicker, and he has moved up into 7th place now, so Jim is definitely not giving up. There's plenty of time left in this race, and he is on the offensive back there in 7th. We got Flickenflocken here in 5th place, joining the fray, getting within range to make some stuff happen with MDK and Tonlo up ahead. Oh no, big spin from MDK. That was dramatic. And look out, Sjord. Bill Kerman has caught up to the race leader. We'll give him just a couple seconds to make something happen. Check on this little pack here. There's too much going on there to parse. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the battle for the lead here. I don't think these backfire. Do they? I don't think they do. I don't think they have anti-lag. Are Indy cars turboed?
Shut up.
I don't know. I don't know these things. We need somebody that knows something about something around here.
Yeah, we need that real soon.
Oh, Bill Kerman now definitely caught up to Sjord. He knows he's there. And Bill is gonna be going for the lead at some point here, but Sjord's using the middle of the road defense there. You don't have to defend a specific lane if you're in both of them. Doesn't quite pay off for him there. Kerman sneaks into the lead on the next turn.
Nice one, Bill.
Smooth.
Easy
Professional.
like Sunday morning.
Exactly. FX47 and Jim Boom and MDK, or is that a back marker up there? Yeah, that's MDK. Jim's definitely got a pace advantage on MDK here. We'll see how well MDK can hold it together, see if he really defends. He's already had a pretty costly spin here. He might be trying to play a little more conservatively, but we'll certainly see. Did somebody just cut straight through the bus stop?
Was that the car ahead?
Yeah.
It looks like they've slowed down regardless.
Yeah. Oh, getting that overlap through the chute. What's going on? Where's the camera? There we are.
Oh, Jesus.
Side by side through the chute. MDK tucks in. Yeah, that was... I mean, wasn't a dive bomb or anything. He just snuck in with the overlap at the last possible moment. I mean, it's fair play, absolutely, but that was tense.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, that's a classic case of a gap was there. You know, I don't know if it was a dive bomb or not, but...
It's one of the faster corners on the circuit. It's not exactly a clear braking zone there, so I think he just had the momentum to take him to the inside line there.
Yeah.
Oh!
It was a very...
Another spin from MDK. Sorry, bud. Unfortunate. FX47 up into 5th place now. Flickin' Flackin' third. Flickin' and Jim Boom have both just clawed their way up the order. Jim now in 4th from a 8th place start. Bill Kerman managing a 2.8 second lead over Sjord in 2nd.
Paul in the chat reckons Jim's going to be at the front soon. Let's see how that pans out.
Well, it's certainly rung true so far. Rang true? Rang true? Rinky dink. Miffy sort of catching up to MDK here. MDK's kind of been in a place that Miffy was in last race where he just kept getting challengers left and right and kind of had a hard time with it. We'll see if Miffy turns the table and becomes the aggressor in this race. 27 minutes left of the race here.
What happened to your overlay from last season?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't remember that we were racing today. So I also didn't bug Bill or Rubik's for graphics for the race because I forgot it was going on.
So I have to provide the overlay graphics as well then?
Rubik's does the overlay and then Bill does the slides for the pre-show. So
Mr. Mouthy in chat Rubik's
yep.
Didn't even pull his weight today.
Nope.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, next race we should have some nice overlay graphics for you, but today we're lucky I got out of bed in time because I didn't set an alarm. I forgot we were doing this.
But it's here now, beer in hand.
Mm-hmm. Why I'm easy. Easy like Saturday afternoon.
When I've just woke up.
Yeah. Woke up at the crack of noon. So 25 minutes left of the race here, so we're about 20 minutes in. Gonna see some pit stops in the next 10 minutes, I'm sure, but right now everybody's kind of settled into their pace, into their positions. Jim Boom still ticking away the time with a 1:23.8 on his last lap. Still pushing his little behind off there. What are you gonna say?
It's not going to be enough to catch Bill, is it? That gap of 19 seconds has stuck around for a while, and Bill's just done a 23.7. So
yeah, Bill Kerman did a 1:23.7 as well. So definitely seeing some big pace from Bill. I think on pure pace, it's hard to say with 24 minutes left. But these pit stops are definitely going to be coming into play eventually. Jim Boom here with 15 liters of fuel left, and that's not gonna take us to the end of the race. Everybody's under 20 liters. Well, Miffy's not. Miffy's been saving fuel.
That's an interesting measure that we can see. So Bill's got 4 pushes left.
Oh yeah, we can see. Seward apparently has 10. Hasn't been using them at all. Flickin' flocking with 9. Yeah, Seward's just going on raw talent right now. Raw power. Jim also only has 4. Definitely has needed to use some up to push his way from 8th to 4th. Well, even from 9th or 10th, he dropped back a little bit and then started on the offensive. Sierra's just chilling in 2nd place, driving nice and easy. Big gap on both sides. Got 10 push to passes left. Life is good for him right now.
So I've just noticed something. So I have the stream up on my laptop, so I can see that. And on your screen, the rev counter goes up to 11, doesn't it? And it's red.
Yeah.
The number 11 is red. On my screen, the number 11 is yellow.
I don't have a clear answer for you there, but I do know that the on-screen tachometer function is very often broken completely. It goes to 11. It goes beyond 11. It doesn't make sense. It's iffy. You can't really count on it.
Yeah, and the analog gauge, if that's what you can call it, is different to the digital reader in the middle.
Oh yeah, like the number readout for RPM.
Yeah, I think the number readout is correct. I could be wrong, but I think the number readout is correct and the analog gauge is wrong. We can see the fuel running out on the cars. 12 litres there. Oh, that's pretty cool. It shows the driver how many push-to-passes they've got left on the steering wheel.
Yeah. It is neat. Yeah, it looks like the digital RPM readout is pretty close to functional, but yeah, definitely I don't think they changed the numbers on the tachometer dial for different cars. I think it just sticks that way. So yeah, just it's like it looks like it functions. So I guess.
It legitimately just pretends, like, if you don't look at it, it would seem fine.
Yeah. He just snuck on in there, acts like he belongs. Yes, I am tachometer. I measure the vroom. I measure the vroom. Watch. Vroom. Yeah. Phosphorus looking to make a move on Mason here. Mason in the Menards livery. And we're not sponsored by Menards, but just want to give them a shout out. You can save big money at Menards. And really just want to say Menards a couple more times before the stream is done.
Menards.
Have you been to Menards, Jack?
I don't know what Menards is.
It's like a hardware Home Depot type store.
Home Depot. Oh yes, we
It's-
have lots of those over here.
Yeah, it's like that kind of deal. Kerman, race leader, is pitting now. Sjord carrying on up into first position for now. Domi also... Is that Domi or Domino? It's Domi. Alright. Domi also in the pits.
What was the deal with that pit crew just standing around with a load of tyres on the floor?
They're lazy. I don't know. You know how the pit crews are in this game, man. Sometimes they just don't give you what you want. Jim Boom also in the pits. Bill Kerman exiting the pits in P3 now. Flicken has also moved up into P2 in his stead. FX47 into the pits. Miffy into the pits. So, 25 minutes into the race is now we're seeing.
Yeah. I mean, given that there's formation lap, but a little bit extra at the end, I guess this is the exact halfway mark, really.
Yeah.
It'll take a lap.
And Jim Boom exiting in 5th place. Flicken got... Sjord and Flicken have gotten the best of it for now, but they are really short on fuel, and he's going to have to tuck into the pits on this one.
This is where there's always a chance of seeing a DQ when someone flies into the pits well above the speed limit.
Yep, we've seen it many, many times before.
I think that must be a back marker.
Yep.
Seem to give up too easy.
So everybody coming out of the pits now are starting to, and Kerman is up into the lead.
Wow, do these things really burn 65 litres in 20 minutes?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was wondering if they I didn't ever look at what fuel they had to begin the race, so I'm not sure if they calculated to their pit stop point or if they actually burn that much fuel.
Have you just moved your microphone because you are distorting in my ears?
Oh no! Alright. Let me move it back. Don't do that. That was scary. Yeah, the XLR cable doesn't like moving. There we go.
Alright, you sound like a pro streamer.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, I've got like a 10-year-old Line 6 interface, and an XLR cable and like a karaoke mic from when I was in a band a couple years ago. So it might look professional, but it's not. Oh.
I think you should write a theme tune for us.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but then it's also like one of those things where I wouldn't be happy half-assing a theme song for PCDC. I'd want to actually make something like super epic and cool. But
that's hard work.
yeah, that's a lot of work to actually make a good song. So we'll see. Someday I might get struck by the inspiration.
PCDC. There you go, started it off for
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna write that down. What was it? What were the lyrics? P C.
I think it I-racing.
I race.
Remember exactly.
I racing. Na 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 na. Felix.
Give me money.
Felix still working on Miffy here. He had a little bump in the wall on his last push, but he's still on the offensive. Oh, on the back straight here, he's gonna have the inside for the bus stop. And that's exactly what you want. You, on that back straight, have to start thinking about your defense into the bus stop about halfway through. because that's when people are going to start having the momentum and start jockeying for the inside. And there's a long zone where you have to start defending if you're gonna there.
Yeah, this looks like the closest gap across the grid at the moment. Paul in the chat pointed out that it appears Bill gained some time during the pit stop, so I'm not sure if he took on less fuel or had less damage to repair or something. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, that's odd. Seems to have about the same fuel as everybody, so
possibly just a damage thing.
yeah, maybe it just was completely untouched and they didn't take the extra time to mess with the aero damage or anything like that.
Yeah, or it is just a pace thing. He's still got the fastest previous lap out there, so
that's true. So Jim, now after the pit stops, has gotten up into 3rd place. Definitely starting to be around the area that he wants to be in. But he's in it to win it. He's still pushing pretty well.
I think potential, well, a likely outcome here is that Jim manages to catch up with and take P2. But the way things are going, it looks like Bill's safe.
Yep. I would say a battle for P2 is more than likely in the upcoming 14 minutes. Bill, if left unharmed, he could clinch it.
Thing is, there's a number of cars that are, a lap down or almost a lap down. So
yeah, there is a considerable amount of traffic. Not as much as our usual multi-class races, but it is something to think about. And there's not as much of a pace difference, and it's not as clear who's a back marker and who's not when you're in this type of situation. So it comes with its own challenges.
The one thing I've just thought that might hurt Jim here when he catches up to Short, if I'm right, he still had 10 push to passes earlier, didn't he, Short?
Oh yeah, and he's still got 10.
He's still got 10.
I'm starting to wonder if he's got the button bound.
Yeah, I don't even think he knows it's a thing.
Stuart's just been out there pushing, practicing his ass off without using push to pass.
These guys are way quicker than me.
So he's just, I'd like to think that he's just been practicing harder and harder to be fast without even using push to pass. That'd be funny.
It'll be tragic at the end of the race if Jim's got none and he's got one, and on the final straight Jim takes it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he could just be saving him so that every time Jim tries to initiate a pass, if he does get there, he can just squirt the button.
That is a valid defense. We've seen in the last season the KERS system getting used defensively to prevent people from getting around you. So it's a valid strategy. But in Indy, the push to pass is a drag reduction, is it not?
I'm not sure.
I believe it's a drag reduction, so it does come with some challenges that the KERS doesn't.
Well, I mean, at least you don't have to hover with your foot 89% on the pedal.
That's very true. That is very true. Give yourself a repetitive stress injury trying to manage your energy.
Oh, Jim's really pushing there, isn't he?
Oh yeah, 1:23.7 on the last lap. 11 minutes left of the race. We might be seeing a battle at this rate. We'll have a little showdown for P2.
Mason is pretty close to 888. Oh, well, I thought he was. There he is.
Yep.
Still not. Mason's last lap was quicker than 888's as well, so this could be a battle for us before Jim catches up with Stuart.
Oh yeah, it's getting into the twilight zone here, where Mason can start nearly getting some slipstream. Before the race is through, just want to quickly shout out PCDC.link if you guys want to join us for this IndyCar season that we're doing. And also, we have some fun races throughout the week to do as well. So go on, head over there, join the Discord, and you can be racing with us next week.
You sure can. There's no commitment to complete the season. It's a week by week participation. Race when you can. And there will be 5 more weeks of this, and then an endurance race.
Oh yeah, are we doing endurance in the IndyCars, or are we gonna do something more normal for endurance?
Oh no, we're doing Indy 500.
Oh, that's right. Of course.
The real deal, full length.
Yep. All right.
200 laps.
That's gonna be something. Mason is just nearly touching 888 here. Ironically, in the 7 car. Animir in the chat says push to pass is a turbocharged boost, giving about 20 extra horsepower. Thank you, Animira, the man with the plan, the guy that knows the things. Oh, Mason.
We need him whispering in our ears, don't we?
Yeah. Animira needs to be our producer that'll just chime in to correct us when we're saying stupid stuff. Mason kind of lost it in the bus stop there. He had a good bit of momentum, but he pushed a little bit too hard on the into the second part of the bus stop, and that definitely can be costly going on to the outer loop. But
the question is Mason going to use that push to pass on the straight?
Oh yeah, he's got one left. He's got one shot, one opportunity. Is he going to capture it or just let it slip?
Yeah.
His palms are surely sweating at this point.
I'm not sure if his knees are weak.
And I definitely can't speak on whether or not his arms are heavy, but
there's vomit on his flame retardant racing suit already.
All right. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm sure we could go for the entire rest of the song.
Yeah, but it would probably finish the race for us as well.
Yeah, right. Mason definitely getting a good run out of the S's. He's got a slight slipstream onto the back straight here, not enough. He's got to play the bus stop really well. 888 pushed a little too hard into the bus stop. Mason could not capitalize on it though, unless he wanted to drive straight through 888.
I've been given the sad news that Phosphorus will not be completing the race. He's just posted in chat, I'm trapped in the pits due to a bug.
Oh no! Phosphorus is being held hostage in the pits.
Yeah, it says it just won't release him.
Oh no. That is unfortunate. Oh, big spin from FX47. He's gonna want to get that sorted before someone else comes along. Miffy is on the push, nearly getting a free position from that. That was a very costly spin. Jim Boom, 5 seconds from Sjord, 6 minutes left in the race. He is on pace to be in a battle with Sjord by the end of the race, but we'll see what comes of it. Sjord has been using that push to pass. So Sjord's just been playing really conservatively and minding his pace and his gaps. And now it certainly seems he is using some push to pass to delay Jim Boom from reaching him. Mason's still working on 888.
Oh!
There was a little touch there, enough to unsettle Mason. Unfortunate.
What's this out of focus view?
Wow.
Kind of Instagram filter.
Taking the glamour shot of the truck here. We use that as a thumbnail. Thanks, drunk cameraman. Drunk commentators are one thing, but drunk cameramen, unacceptable. Jim Boom, it's got 3 push to pass left. Sjord with 4.
So Sjord is using his push to pass then.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to get nervous about Jim.
Yep, I think he's keeping an eye on the gaps, and
this is going to be tense. Jim's flying. And Jim is running faster than Bill is now, but I'm guessing Bill's just calling it in right now.
Yeah, he's just got to manage his pace, but I don't know, we've mentioned, Bill's mentioned to us before that it's sometimes harder to lay off on the pace and actually just focus on, slowing it down and getting it home, but
I have found sometimes when you lay off the pace to 90% that you can unsettle the car in ways that you're not expecting.
Yeah, it just drives different and you're in a different mindset. But I mean, Kerman's pushing a 124.6 still, so he keeps it on 100%.
122.8 from Jim though.
Oof. I think that's one of the that's one of the fastest laps we've seen today. He wants to force the issue with Sjord. Sjord, only 2 seconds ahead of him now, has used another one of his push to passes. He's got 3. Jim's got 1, 2 left. Did he gain 1? I thought he had 1 left. All right. That's weird. But he is within range to be doing something. There's 3 minutes left. 2 or 3 laps left of the race now for Jim Boom to force the issue with Sjord. Oh man. Having a 1.3 second gap at the end of the straight is definitely not what Sjord wants to see behind him. Jim is well and truly in the danger zone for getting this P2.
He's on the highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, he's not quite there yet, but he's on the highway to it. Oh, taking the bus stop as much of it as you possibly can. That was risky, but it seems to have paid off. He's got a little bit of extra momentum going into the chute here. Oh.
Question is the French in him going to make him want to surrender?
Oh, we made it all day without a French joke.
Almost.
Had to burst that bubble with 1.5 minutes left in the race. Looks like FX47 might be working on Miffy back there as well, but we're going to keep our eyes on Jim Boom and Sjord for the battle for P2. 1 minute 20 left in the race.
FX is slipping back from Miffy.
Yeah. Well, this is do or die time for these guys. Should be their last lap. I'm not sure about Kerman, but pretty sure the race will be done by the time they get back around. Oh my goodness.
Jim's used his final push to pass.
Here it is, going on the outside for the bus stop. He's going to need to get it done if he wants to actually have that position. And there it is. Sjord tucks in behind him.
It's not done yet.
Oh, yep.
What was...
Who is... Who was that other car that was in the mix? Okay, someone's ghosted on the shoulder. That was risky. That outside pass on the back straight is so difficult to pull off. Usually can only get it done if you got to push to pass, I suppose, because otherwise you usually don't have the momentum to make it all the way around another car in time to get to the inside.
Yeah, and it looked like on the exit, Short still had a momentum advantage there. Jim closed the door quickly, but
yeah, it gets very close. That's usually why you don't want to try to pass on the outside. You want to, if you can get the inside line and a little bit of momentum, you can usually make it work there, rather than having the outside line and you need loads of momentum to get in front of somebody. But
it'd be good to hear from those two guys in interviews.
Yep, absolutely. Sjoerd and Jim. Jim had a 4-second penalty, so I think that put him physically in front of Sjoerd, but as far as the total time, Jim's back in 3rd place there.
It's a meaningless pass in some ways, but, you know...
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
He's still asserting his dominance.
Yep, you're going to fight for it, or you're just going to say, oh, it's already lost, I'll take 3rd? No, Jim's not that kind of guy.
Definitely not.
So, Kerman with a race win there. He had a 2 and a 1 on this doubleheader today. So that's going to be excellent points for him. Jim has a 1 and a 3 as far as finishes go, and also going to be some pretty good points for him going into week 2. Sjoerd with 2nd place in race 2. Phosphorus got the 3rd in the 1st race, so those guys are also going to be pretty big contenders next week.
Sadly for Phosphorus, though, you know, a bug knocked him out of this one.
Yeah, a rival pit crew disguised themselves as his own and didn't release him from the pits, so that is unfortunate for him.
And you know, every time someone that's watching right now doesn't hit the bell icon, one of our drivers will be sad.
Yes.
That's what you got to do on YouTube.
There's a 1-to-1 ratio of people that don't subscribe and hit the bell to sad drivers.
Yeah. If you subscribe without hitting the bell, honestly, just unsubscribe. It's pointless. I don't want you.
Don't listen to him. We'll take you. Like it. Subscribe it. Buy it. Use it. Break it. Fix it.
If you don't like it, you know what to do.
Saw it off. That's what you can do.
You need to do one.
All right. So we'll try for a word with Kerman, Sjoerd, and Jim. Are you up to the challenge of wrangling some pilots here?
I'll go and do some wrangling. What I'll do is I'll just back out of the game now. Sorry, I mean simulation software.
Yeah, back out of the experience. All right.
So it was Bill, then Sjoerd, then Jim. Go and grab them.
Yep. So we'll be having some interviews here. But that was the race. Bill Kerman with the race win in race 2. Sjoerd 2nd, Jim 3rd. So we'll be back at it next week with another 2 races. We will be at Imola next week. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Dustin.
Good win there. Seemed like a pretty comfy last part of the race. How'd the pit strategy work out for you? I'm wondering, first of all.
Worked pretty nicely. At the beginning of the race, I was thinking maybe I will switch tires, but was thinking, well, if the tires are holding up well, which they were in the first race, and towards the pit stop they still felt alright, so I decided, well, I'll take those few seconds of caution and not have to worry about gaps later, and decided to stay on the same set of hard tires. So yeah, that gained me a couple of seconds more, like 5 or 10 I think.
Yeah,
and from then on
we noticed you.
Yeah, from then on was more or less we keep interrupting each other. I'm gonna talk now.
Can I talk? Hello.
Yeah. No, shut up. And from then on I was pretty much out of the battle. I think I had a huge gap, and yeah, actually towards the end of the race I was watching what Sjoerd was doing against Jim, and I saw that it was going to be close in terms of time for another lap. I saw that I probably was going to cross the line with 10 seconds or so left. And then I saw that Jim had a 4-second penalty and was just about to pass Fjord. I saw that on the relative times. So I decided, well, if I made the race 1 lap shorter, maybe it would work out that Jim would stay behind Fjord. Which is what happened in the end. So I hope that these few points will make a difference in the end.
We shall see. That's definitely a ballsy move to keep your tires on for that pit stop, but we definitely noticed you had a comfy lead after the pits.
Yeah, I mean, the limit was the front left tire.
Yep.
Which was, yeah, but I mean, a bit of understeer doesn't kill you, especially in these cars. You have such huge amounts of downforce. So even if the tires give up a little, I mean, you still have a few elephants pressing down on them, so who cares?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that I mentioned in the commentary that outer loop is just a tire chewer. It's just the destroyer of front left tires.
Indeed.
Did you run hards the whole time?
Yeah, in the first race I did switch to the alternate tires, but more for fun than for anything else, because I knew that Jim was out of the question to catch him. He had a comfortable lead, and I don't know who was behind me. I think it was Sjord. Was too far back to be a danger, so I decided, well, why not whack out a few quick laps on the alternate tires?
There you go.
But yeah, in terms of strategy, I think today it would have been best to just stay on the hard tires in both races.
Yeah, seems that way. Well,
yeah.
We'll move on. Congrats on your race win. You should be sitting pretty for points going into next week.
We'll see. Thanks. Hope you had fun as well watching it.
It was a great time. Congrats, Bill.
Thanks. See you guys.
See you.
All right. So Sjord and Jim, I'd like to have a
At
weird.
the same time, or
no, just one or the other.
One or the other.
Or both, or none. Doesn't really matter. We'll get it done one way or another. Hello, Sjord. Hello, hello.
I can see the green.
I can,
next
yeah.
to his...
He's lighting up, but the lights are on, but nobody's home.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hello, hello.
There we go.
That's much better.
Congrats on your podium finish there. Do you want to walk us through that battle at the end there?
Yeah, actually, I don't really know what happened, if we touched or not in the end, because it was quite a tense battle. Because I didn't know if it was 1 or 2 laps more. I saw the counter coming down from about 30 seconds, and I didn't know how far Bill was ahead, if he would trigger another lap or not. And Jim came up on me, and I spent all my push to pass options. So he was on the outside into the what's it called? That strange corner.
The bus stop.
Yeah, the bus stop. And I just braked a bit early because I thought it's going to end in tears. And then he ran wide, and that allowed me to come into the inside again. So then I was sort of side by him again, but just there was just a little bit of overlap, not so much. And he just got back on me, and I thought, oh shit, this is going to end in tears. But it wasn't too bad. And then I could just follow him. And luckily there wasn't another lap, so that was within the 4 seconds he had.
Yeah, that was certainly an interesting battle. And we noticed you, we were keeping an eye on you throughout the race, and noticed you didn't use your push to pass at all for like the first half of the race. So we speculated that you didn't even have it bound and didn't even know it was a thing, and had just practiced real hard to be competitive. But it seemed you were playing pretty conservatively. How'd that strategy go for you?
Yeah, well, I saw everyone else spinning, especially in the first race. And actually, I didn't practice too much. So I was before the race, like 15 minutes before qualifying, I was still tinkering with my setup to get it somewhat more stable and somewhat more consistent. And I thought, well, this push to pass, I can save them to the end. So when I was battling Jim, I actually spent one too many. That was why I didn't have one at the end. But I used one every lap to get better lap times to keep him behind. That was the plan.
Yeah, we noticed that, and that worked out pretty well for you. That was a good strategy.
Yeah, I thought most people spin anyway, so I'll save the push to pass for the moment you really need it, and not to spend it too quickly.
That's smart. That's probably what I'd do. Just stay alive for the first half of the race and then go fast later. Well, congrats on your podium. That
And
was
did you see the first race? That one.
Yes, I saw a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. I saw a lot of things.
Well, I tried the fuel saving strategy and I just missed out. I just missed out on half lap, so I had to pit.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
saw
right.
That.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we did see that.
We thought you were gonna cross the finish line in the pits, and yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna move on and get Jim in here real quick. Congrats on your podium. That was a great race. Good strategy there.
Thank you, and I'm going to take a shower because it's hot as fuck in here.
Yeah, I feel you, man. All right, we'll see you soon.
See ya.
All right, let's get Jimbo. Jimbo. Jimboom. So we'll have one more interview for you here, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll get Jim Boom in here. Has a first place finish and a third place, 2 podiums today. Jim, how does that feel for you?
Oh, exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd today go? What's the general outlook?
The first race went perfect. I had some room to take it easy and make sure I don't crash and spin. But for the second one, as you saw, I think, I spun because I was caught out in the dirty air at the last turn, and I got some aero and suspension damage, but it was alright. It was only 4. And then I went into fire mode and pushed as hard as I could for the rest of the race. Unfortunately, I picked up a penalty and was just a few seconds behind the Fjord at the end. But I'm pretty happy with the comeback I did, at least.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, you started from 8th in the second race, I believe, and then dropped down to like 9th at some point and made that push all the way up to the podium. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I definitely got to commend you on that push at the end with that battle with Sjord, because he saved all 10 of his push to passes till the end just to keep you off his tail, and you still got up there. Yeah.
I had only 1.
Yeah, we were watching, and he had saved all of them. We didn't know if he even knew that he had pushed a pass, but he saved them all to use them defensively against you, and you still were able to claw your way up.
Yeah, they started disappearing as you got closer and closer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, congrats on your 2 podiums today. That was some really excellent, high quality racing from you.
Thanks. I hope I can make it 1-1 next time.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? All right, well, we'll see you next week, and good luck to you in the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. See
Cheers,
you.
Jim.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, that's all for today. We'll be back next week with 2 races at Imola for some more hot IndyCar action. Thank you, Jack, for joining me in the box today. It's been a joy. And
Always.
thank you all for tuning in. And we'll catch you next week. I've been Dustin the Destroyer. Peace out.